Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Craig's Garage. Last video, you guys saw we put the interior in it, and it looks really good. We got a few things left that we need to do before we can get this car actually running instead of bottle feeding it like we did 2 videos ago. So the things we still need to do is I got to put a new starter solenoid on, I got to put cooler lines on, I got to get the transmission linkage in, and then we have to get the distributor fixed. One thing that we may be dealing with is a hurt engine now. We're thinking that the oil pump drive was never hooked up to the distributor, which means that it was running with no oil going through it. But when I assembled the engine, I had put a fuck ton of assembly lube on it. Well, I also did prime it with the drill, so it may have pushed some of the assembly lube out, but I pray that we have not fucked this engine up because I do not want to pull it back out. I've spent a lot of money on this for a guy that, doesn't make a lot of money. But we're gonna dive straight into this so we don't keep you guys waiting, and let's kick some more ass. Let's roll. All right, first thing that I want to do before we even, put any more parts onto it, we're gonna drop that. We're gonna pull the distributor up, make sure she still holds oil pressure. There's no point in continuing on putting parts on this car or engine, just have it where there's no oil pressure. So we're gonna pop the distributor out and check really quick. So it's pretty simple process. Just gotta pop the wires off, then take the little lock out, and then it should slide right out. So we're gonna do that quick, and then we'll be right back with you. Okay, we're gonna be tackling the distributor here. So I wanted to actually record some of this. So it's basically just your lock. I'm gonna go the right way. And then just pop the wires off and you'll be good to go. Yeah. See how easy that moved? Wasn't down. Came right out. Oil pump drive was never running that entire time we were running it. Oh, that is annoying. I just hope the assembly lube kept her together. We can retime it and top dead center it. Alright, I'm going to grab the drill adapter and you guys can watch at the oil pressure gauge and see if we actually hold oil pressure. So, right. The adapter is in so I can run the oil pump drive with the drill. So we got the Milwaukee. I was going to put it on and see if we hold any oil pressure. So let's dive into this. So we're going to put it on. I want to show you guys me using this actually up in the front here. So the pump was not wanting to move when I put one of my crescent wrenches wherever it disappeared. So I broke it loose, and if we can get this guy to actually work. There we go, now she's pumping oil around. So if you guys want to go look at the oil pressure, see what we're holding. Hold on. Well, we know oil is flowing because it was running down, so did we have any oil pressure?
Around 40, 42.
Right, I think we are good to go. I would like to watch it. So, that's it. We got oil pressure. I'm quite happy with that. We might have just been on the edge of fucking this engine up. So, what I want to do is we're going to jump into a time lapse. We're going to get the car in the air, up in the front. I'm going to put the new starter solenoid on. And then we're also going to put the cooler lines on. We're going to do that all in the time lapse. because I bet you guys are probably more interested in wanting to hear this run than actually, you know, seeing me put more parts on you. So, yeah, let's roll. Cooler lines are in, starter is in, everything is tightened up. Might have to readjust these a little bit. They're a little wonky. You could see it turning a bit, but they're in, so I'm glad they fit. So we're gonna drop a battery in. We're gonna pull the battery out of the Skylark and just see if the starter works. If it works, then we'll put the car back onto the ground. All right, well, the starter and everything is fixed. So we're gonna see if she works. I say that works pretty good. Colton's over there beating on a tank, so we're gonna now put the gas tank in and then redraw the distributor and yeah, see how much farther we can get today. So let's tackle that tank. Tank is put together. We got the cap on. Sending unit was a pain, but she's in there. So we're gonna see if this 68 Skylark tank will fit into a 68 Buick Wildcat. So let's crawl underneath and get you guys set up, then we'll see what we're dealing with. Too big. Shit. Hold on. No. What's up, people? One day, this car is gonna fall on top of me. Alright, let's try this again. Just preparing the tank for what it's gonna have to go through when we jump this car. Alright, well, the tank is definitely different. But, yeah, we might be able to just do what you were talking about, Colton. Self-tapper it.
That's what I was thinking. Like, either drill 2 new holes, remount the straps with bolts, or self-tapper the straps up in there and just mount it up there wherever it fits in the neck holder.
Yeah, because these... Get these 2 bolts here out for the straps. Then put the new ones on, see where they go. And then I got some self-tappers in the Skylark. But it'd be safer to run a nut and bolt, because if you got 20 gallons of gas in there and that self-tapper comes out, boom. So we're gonna go and do another time lapse here, getting this tank in, and then we'll see what we can do. All right, so last we left off, it's been like 2 weeks. we were doing the tank. I got the parts to do the tank. I don't know where I'll put the parts, so the parts are gone. But one thing I want to finish it up. I'm here. I was working on another video. We were doing the exhaust and shit. So I want to put the distributor back in and actually get it locked onto the oil pump drive, so then we can retime it and then maybe have it running this weekend and broke in. So when I get the distributor in, me and Dad are gonna do the fuel pump off camera, because the fuel pump has a supply and return. So whatever it doesn't use, it sends back to the tank. Well, this 455 is going to be drinking a lot of it, so we're going to take the return and crush it, and then we're going to solder it shut. So then it'll be just a pull in, and then it's just going to keep feeding it. So I'd rather have more fuel than less fuel, if that makes any sense. So drop this distributor in if I can get the oil pump drive back out. The not oil pump, the piece that we hooked the drill on so we could prime the pump. Yeah, that's my adapter. That's what I was looking for. Anyways, let's kind of get back into it. So let's roll. Alrighty. So when it comes to doing this, you could, know by heart. You've done this a while. I'm gonna do this a spec different. I did it last time and it worked. We're gonna do it again. I am way too short because this car is on stands. Oh well. So we're gonna pull the valve cover off, and then top dead center, number 8. Not 8. Cylinder 1. I just gotta make sure I know which valve we're doing. So let me get a block or something that I can stand on. No. Use one of the mold branches. There we go. Tall again. This thing sucks. Brand new, and it sucks. I just go to swap meets and buy some used ones that are from the 60s. I don't know if it'll hold up. Alright, now the cover can come off. I'll move you guys over here. You guys can see the valve train and stuff. Yeah, look at that beautiful valve train. Beautiful. So, I'm going to take our breaker bar. And we have a timing mark. It should, well, it was for me, on top dead center. I just gotta wait for it to come around. Oh, she's got some compression in her now. Alright, exhaust is opening. So exhaust is closing. And take the opening. This is your gas, this is your exhaust. So right now the piston's traveling downward. And it's allowing gas to go in. And just got done closing. Now watch for a timing mark. I'm going to turn the light on. There's going to be a timing mark. You guys probably won't see it. A timing mark coming up right about here. Oh. Yep, she's right there. We got a bit more travel room still to go. So, on the back there, I'll move the hose out of your guys' way. Now my arm's gonna be in the way, so. Oh. Still, too short. Grab another tire. No point moving that one, so I'll put that my junk rims because I crashed the other car. My head's gonna be in the way for a minute. Get over it. Alright, there's the timing mark. And she's close to top dead right now. I go back just a little bit. Alright. She's at top dead 0. So she should be timed. Good to go. Now we set the distributor wherever we want cylinder 1 to be. So we're going to put this valve cover back on. And then I'll explain a little bit farther. So, managed to get the adapter out finally. You guys are going to see that timing mark I was telling you about. This little guy right here, lined up with 0. So then I took the oil pump drive and I straightened it out because it needs to be attached to there. So I'm gonna attempt to drop it in. So yeah, wish me luck. Oh, I got it. Yeah. Hell yeah. All right, it is flush. That there is stuck on there. It's not going anywhere. I'm locking this son of a bitch down. Sorry. This is like the one thing I hate doing the most is getting this distributor set in. But I did it. We got it. So, yeah. All right. Distributor is on. I'm going to call it good for right here. I'm going to go home and get that exhaust done, which is for a different video. I don't want too many things in the same video, so I ain't boring you guys. But we'll hopefully get this timed and reset now. So, yeah, we still do the fuel tank. So I will try to find my threaded rod that I had bought originally. And then get the fuel tank in and we can fire this up. And you guys can hear it, the exhaust, early before you even see the video. So let's do this. I'm back, hopefully. So, last I remember, which was last weekend already, dropped distributor in. Seems to be in and flush, so I just hope it's connected with the drive. So today, I am going to focus on bolting this dang tank in. I have gotten some threaded rod, and over here I'll actually just show it to you guys. I am getting sick. So if I sound like shit, it's because it's allergy season. But if you guys can see this okay. This is our threaded rod. It's about maybe a little over a foot. So hopefully this works. Hopefully it's enough. I got equal length. So we're gonna hop in back. I'm gonna strap you guys underneath the car Then we'll lift that tank in. I'm gonna put the jack underneath of it to hold the tank in so I can push this up, figure out where to drill a hole into the floor, and then hopefully we can crank these down and the tank will be in there right. The tank will fit. Straps are, you can't get straps for this car anymore that I could look for now. So there might be a place somewhere that sells the parts. I just haven't come across it yet. But once we get the tank in, I'm hoping that the neck for the tank fits right. So, because the two tanks are completely different. The tank on the Wildcat is more long and narrow. The tank that's for the 68 Skylark that we got back there is more wide than long. So it's kind of the complete opposite. I have an original tank, it's sitting in the back there. Just don't want to use it because of how rusted out it is. So maybe I could send it somewhere, get it sandblasted, cleaned out, cooked, something like that. But for now, we're going to try to get this other tank to work. So let's hop in back and get it, put it. All right. Okay, we're underneath the car here. So I'm gonna attempt to slide this tank back in. I had to cut some wire and put it on the sending unit signal for the tank so I can actually hopefully have a gas gauge, because this thing is gonna drink like a crazy motherfucker. So let's slide it back under. It might be a little loud for you guys, I apologize. But for the clamp here, this guy, I noticed that it's just a prong that sticks out, and I don't know the proper piece that goes on it. So I took the wire and JB welded that bitch right onto there. Wrapped a bunch of the wire around, and hopefully that does good enough. I got my other parts here. Got a bunch of washers and stuff. So I'm gonna thread these up quite a bit, and then I get some extra thread sticking out like an inch and a half. We're gonna bend it so then the bolts, if the lock nuts do come loose, we can still have like a backup safety type of deal. I just want to take precaution about all of this because 20 gallons of gas igniting on the highway is not something that you want to joke around with. So let me get you guys up on top, show you what the threaded rod looks like up there. Okay, this is kind of what we got going on here. This is going to be our top. It's supposed to be the bigger washer there, but floor is where my thumb is, underneath the two washers. And then we got all that room there for the fuel tank strap. But that bolt won't back off now, like if it gets to rattling. We'll do the same on the bottom when we get the piece all tightened up. So the other one, I had to feed it backwards. So from this to end and run it all the way down, because when I cut it in half, I wrecked the threads. So didn't get that lucky. So I hooked the drill on it, got my 3/8 ratchet, and just all the way up. So let's get you guys back underneath and let's get this tank bolted on. Well, the tank is in, and it's in there pretty good. So I hope that threaded rod holds, like really holds. So lined up pretty good too. Might be a speck off, but you know, at least put gas in her now. So she's got a new tank and everything put in it. So I'm gonna splice these two wires and hook them up with a connector in between, so I can hopefully have a gauge because she's gonna drink. But yeah, I'm also gonna hook up the hose to feed. So those will be the big line on the sending unit and the big line on the gas line. I hope the gas line doesn't have any holes in it, because just because I don't want to change the lines. So I'm gonna do that really quick, and then we'll bring you guys back. I'm back from the future. This is the next day after we had put the tank in. Hopefully, well, this is for a different video, but hopefully I got the right hardware for the exhaust. But I got hose clamps and I got our fuel pump here. Our fuel pump we have to rig out. That's good for it. Well, gaskets, which are shot. It's okay, maybe they'll only work. Alright, so the pump I got has a feed and return. So whatever it doesn't use, it sends back to the tank. Well, this is a big black monster of an engine that I have curated, and we're not going to need the return, so we're going to cap this guy off with a rubber hose. So we'll put our rubber hose on, clamp it, you know, really tight clamp it. Then I have enough hose sticking out, we can put a bolt through it, and then we'll double clamp it. And that'll be our stopper. And I'll just keep an eye on it, see how it goes. But when we ran this engine last time in the startup, the pump didn't work, because it was the old pump that originally came off of this engine, and you know, kind of pushed the luck a little bit and failed. So we have to pull the power steering bracket off because it's covering the fuel pump that's on the car now. So we're gonna mess with that a little bit, see if we can get it off, and then we have to finish clamping the hoses in the back, and then we have to run a line to our feeder on here, and then, you know, everything else. So that should be it for that then, and then we can actually hear this thing run again for the first time in a while. So it's probably been about a month and a half since this last ran. So my goal is to break it in, but my goal today, because it's Sunday, last day of the week, is to hear it idle and build oil pressure. So last time I didn't build oil pressure because the oil pump drive wasn't hooked up. We didn't realize that until, you know, after we had ran it. So we did prime up the pump, as you guys saw in the beginning of the video. So she still does hold oil pressure, so hopefully we didn't damage the engine, but we'll have a better idea when we do start it. So with no further ado, I'm gonna crawl underneath the car here in the back and finish hose clamping lines there, and then I will meet you guys up in the front. So let's do this. Alright, we're moving on to this pump here. I need this guy right here. So it's 5/8 line. This is it 5/8? Maybe it's 3/8. Maybe we can get lucky and let's see if it'll fit. I got the exhaust put on, that's done. Up and out of the way. Alright, so that, and about right here, we'll cut it off. I don't have any shorter 3/8. We got 2 packs. Take these guys. And where this sits, we'll run the line over, Clamp it down. And we're gonna run 2 of them on here, just a little extra coverage, you know. So hopefully you guys are seeing that okay. Go like this. I feel like I'm being watched by people. There's other people here and I don't like it. But I'm not going to complain because I have a roof over my head and I'm building cars. 1, 2 can go, and we'll run another 2 on the return portion, which is a spec big. Which is fine. It's fine. We're gonna get this to work. So we'll take these little 2 here, and then we'll have the 2 big 2 for the feeder line. So hopefully this all works out in the end. Little 2. Shorten this. Beautiful. Oh. Don't ask. Yeah, look at that. Plan coming together. Isn't that lovely? We're gonna move this guy too. I want it to look nice and even, like it wasn't just cobbled together. There we go. It should fit. So just hang off like that, and then our feeder line will hook up to here, bolt the pump on and what. So hopefully I didn't strip them threads on the timing cover, because that's gonna be a pain to replace. So let's drop this power steering pump. Got our pump here. We're gonna pull the whole bracket assembly off and just kind of get it up and out of the way. So it still has fluid in it. I don't know if the pump works. It's kind of like another thing I wanted to experiment with is if we do get this running today, I want to see if the power steering pump works. Because, you know, it'd be nice to have power steering. This big old fucking boat would be a bitch to steer. Fuel pump's on, tightened up, should be good to go. So throw this power steering pump back on, and then we're gonna hook up the soft line. And in theory, we are ready to rock and roll on this. So then we actually start it. Well, we'll still have to do the distributor, but me and Dad will do that when we go to start it. I'll get it on recording for you guys. So I'm just gonna jump forward when we go to start this up. I can go back there. We are rolling. Ready?
Yep.
Goes onto the.
Hit the bread.
Ready?
Yep. She should have popped.
Hold on. On the dash, flip the red switch up.
Why?
Because that's the switch for the distributor.
Oh, you had that hooked up?
Yeah, that's what hooked up in there.
Alright.
So the one with red,
Yeah.
that's power, and then the blue is for fans, but there's no fans right now.
Right now. I got her. Try that.
Right, on the red?
Yep.
Yep, there's the switch.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Let me get some more gas.
I forgot about that part.
Yeah, I know.
I know now.
So when you go, throw that wire down and go look.
Good.
Okay. Yep. We get her timed in here.
Yeah, when it was running, it was just a spec past 50, which is good.
Yeah. I'll take that.
So if we did do damage, it wasn't that much.
Yeah, we only took 1,000 miles out of it.
Yeah, it's a hot rod.
All right, now, if she cranks and it goes, oh, then stop cranking.
Okay.
So we got to turn the distributor a little.
Right, ready?
Yep.
Pretty good. Let me get these guys.
All right.
Ready?
I think so.
All right, here we go. Ready?
Yep. Keep going.
Are you good? Ready?
Damn. But you heard it idle.
I did. Alright. This puppy ran pretty fucking good. And you can tell one thing, I'm leaning on this car pretty high right now. And, you know, she, good oil pressure. Ran great. Exhaust sounded fucking beautiful. Did not pull from the tank. I think the line might be slightly plugged. Before we ended that, well, after we had ended that video, we had looked underneath the car and there's a huge ass puddle of oil. And I believe our oil pan has a big hole in it. And I am not ready to face that yet. So there will be no break in this video. I apologize. I tried my best. Just gonna take a break. So yeah, that'll be here for the video. I don't know. We'll deal with that problem a different day. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.